Hello everyone, welcome to this week's Gran Turismo 7 Daily Race C Race and Strategy Guide. We're in the Group 3 machinery and we're off to the Nurburgring GP Circuit. We've got 10 laps to get round. Fuels at times 3, tyres at times 6, just the racing medium tyres available. There is a mandatory pit stop, BOP is on, damages lights, a rolling start, slipstream is real. And for your settings, you have partial suspension, partial differential and your brake balance. Now this is a familiar location. I think this is maybe the most used location if you include the Nordschleife and the sprint circuit as well. And I think this is actually the 4th time overall we've been to the GP circuit in Group 3, albeit I don't think we've had these particular settings. We've definitely done 2 races with hards and mediums and a no stop fuel saver maybe as well in Group 3, so I think it's slightly different settings, but nonetheless, it is a very much a repeat combo. Now, unfortunately, I've had to kind of cheat on this one, folks, because I wasn't actually able to race. But don't worry, I will have all the information you need to strategize for this one in this video. And the first thing we're going to take a look at is that all-important mandatory pit stop. How long does it take? How long is the difference between changing the tyres and not changing the tyres? And then we'll take a look at some tyre wear from the very first daily race C of the week. And we'll use that information we glean from that to then help us to make that decision. But car into the box here, we're in the Toyota FT1, doesn't really matter because we're not racing, but our stationary time is 2.283 seconds for not changing the tyres. Let's round that up to 2.3 seconds as we take a look at a tyre change to see how it stacks up compared to not changing the tyres. Now, for the pit stop here, do be very careful on the entry, not crossing the white line, and you do have to negotiate the last corner as well. You're actually driving it, you will see people end up in the barrier, and also for leaving that pit lane, also be careful of the white line as well. Make sure to stay to the right and take a little glance behind you so you know who's coming down the main straight. So into the pit box we come for the second pit stop here, changing the tyres, 4.8 seconds to change the tyres compared to 2.3 seconds if you don't change the tyres. So overall you're saving 2.5 seconds by not changing the tyres, which is not a massive amount over the course of a 20-minute race. Fuel is going to be no issue in this one. Overall it's 20.6 seconds you lose in the pits. Changing the tyres, 18.1 seconds if you don't change the tyres. Now, as I said, I never managed to get into the first race and I never actually managed to get a race done at all, but I was able to kind of look at a replay from the very first daily race C. Bembo Baggins actually put it up, which was very, very handy for me to do this video, so thank you for that, Bembo. But on screen here you've got 4 different cars, the Genesis, the Porsche, the McLaren 650S and the Lexus RCF, and you should be able to see from the tyre wear, none of these drivers have changed the tyres and none of them are in particular great trouble with the tyres towards the end. Now some of them are a bit worse than the others. The Porsche's rear tyres are a bit worse than most of the other cars, and they are kind of approaching that part of the tyre wear where they probably are starting to lose a bit of lap time towards the end, but nothing too significant. Now do factor in that I think all 4 of the players that I'm looking at here are on the wheel. I know certainly for a fact that 3 of them are. I could be wrong with one of the other ones. So if you're on the pad, do maybe consider 10-15% worse tyre wear than what you can see on the screen. And obviously it's not just the pad versus the wheel that makes a difference. Wheel versus the wheel can also see a significant difference in the tyre wear. We've got 2 Genesis drivers here where you can see the front tyres are a lot worse on one compared to the other. And I know for a fact that both the drivers I am looking at here and that you're looking at here are on the wheel. So it's not just a pad versus wheel. Wheel users have different tyre wear between them. So just take all these things into account. But it does look like the vast majority of drivers will be able to get away with not changing the tyres if that's the strategy that you want to do. But let's just recap on the strategy options. So your one stop tyre change, you're going to pit between laps 4 and 6. You could pit as early as lap 3, maybe as late as lap 7. For fresh tyres it will cost you 2.5 seconds over drivers that don't change the tyres and possibly some track position. However, you should have a significant, well not maybe significant, but you should have a grip advantage over the last few laps, particularly over the drivers that are struggling on the tyres doing the non-tyre change. And your other strategy, I think you'll probably see this more than the tyre change, to be honest with you, is the one stop with the no tyre change. Gives you the flexibility to do that pit stop any lap between laps 1 and 9, and you do gain 2.5 seconds over the tyre changers, but you will lose a little bit of grip and a little bit of lap time towards the end. But that's pretty much it for the strategy, folks. Hopefully all the information is here to help you Choose the best strategy for your particular driving style. Car choice is going to come into it as well, of course. Can you maybe alter the settings to affect that tyre wear as well? Will remain to be seen. But yeah, I think that's pretty much everything I need to talk about in terms of the strategy. In terms of this race, it is a decent race, to be fair. Group 3 round the Nurburgring GP is definitely not a bad combination for sure. There's a little bit of strategy in this one, so I'm not complaining too much. Can use some different cars, but yeah, we have done this one many times in the past. Given that with the tracks out there that we've not used, it does come as a little bit of a disappointment. And of course, they could have made this one just a little bit better, I think. Scrap that mandatory pit stop, throw in the random weather, give us the potential for some rain. Could have been a lot more fun. But yeah, hopefully you've enjoyed this one. Sorry it's a little bit of a rough shot of a way of putting the video together, but maybe you've enjoyed it more than watching me race. It's been a snapshot of the strategy. But thanks for watching. Catch you on the next one. Goodbye.